Hello, everybody, and welcome to Byron-Bergen High School, the site of tonight's Section 5 boys basketball matchup between unbeaten Byron-Bergen and 8-1 Pembroke. Should be a good one here in the Genesee Region League on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. My name is Alex Brasky. I'll soon be joined by former Cal Mum varsity boys basketball coach Dan Dickens, and we will take you through tonight's action between the Bees and the visiting Dragons. The Dragons trying to hand the Bees their first loss of the season here tonight. Before we get too deep into tonight's broadcast, we'd like to first thank our sponsors, beginning with Casella Waste. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster, or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs and is always putting your waste to work. Call 585-308-0662 today for a quote. Also, Notre Dame High School. When the Notre Dame administration asked their students why they love Notre Dame High School, the same word was repeated again and again, and that word was family. At Notre Dame, students develop authentic relationships with nurturing teachers, dedicated coaches, and administrators committed to Notre Dame's mission. Students thrive in the physically and emotionally safe environment where they learn to take chances and push their academic abilities. Notre Dame invites you to discover the difference at their open house, February 2nd from 6 to 7:30 p.m., or call to schedule a visit today. Also, Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. Empire Tractor is also proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower, and they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Check out their website, empiretractor.com, or visit in person right in front of the Genesee County Fairgrounds. We'd also like to thank Genesee Community College. Genesee, your path. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Apply for free at genesee.edu/apply or call 866-CALL-GCC today. So we're getting set for what should be a fantastic matchup here between Byron-Bergen and Pembroke. The unbeaten Bees hosting 8-1 Pembroke here tonight. Alex Brasky and former Cal Mum boys basketball coach Dan Dickens here with you at Byron-Bergen High School on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. It should be an exciting game, and we'll take you through a quick look at each side coming into this one. Byron-Bergen, as I said, a perfect 9-0 on the season. Big wins over Notre Dame by a final score of 53-45, and also Wheatland Chili by a score of 71-46. Both of those teams are defending sectional champions. Byron-Bergen looking to capture a sectional championship this season. Byron-Bergen thus far this year has been paced by a number of players, but first and foremost, the big man, Braden Chambry. 19 points per game on the year for Chambry. He's been a force inside for the Bees. Chambry stands 6'4". Looks like he put on about 15 pounds of muscle during the offseason, so he'll be plenty for Pembroke to contend with here this evening. Also on Byron-Bergen's side, two other players averaging in double figures scoring-wise, David Brumstead and Johnny Ferreira, two guards who will handle the ball here tonight for the Bees. Pembroke at 8-1. Big wins this season over Notre Dame, Oakfield, Alabama, and Attica. Oakfield, Alabama, and Notre Dame both defending sectional champions. Pembroke looking to win their first sectional title in program history this season. Pembroke will be led by a number of players, as will Byron-Bergen. Among them, Tyson Totten, a junior, one of the leading scorers for this Pembroke team, as is Caden Falzer, a senior, along with Chase Guzdek, who will combat Braden Chambry inside, both defensively and offensively for the Dragons. The Dragons are coached by Matt Shea, a former assistant at Batavia, while Byron-Bergen is coached by Roxanne Noeth, a Byron-Bergen graduate, alumna, I should say. So that's a quick breakdown of what to expect personnel-wise from each team, and both of these teams vying for a sectional championship this season, which, as I said before, really should make for an exciting atmosphere here tonight, as both of these teams entered the season with high aspirations and thus far have lived up to those high expectations throughout the early portion of the season. Pembroke resides in Class C2. They are currently the number 2 seed within their classification, while Byron-Bergen is also the number 2 seed within their classification. They sit within Class C3. So a chance for these teams to meet up down the road in the postseason, but that would come after either team or perhaps both teams. Actually, no, it would come after potentially both teams win their sectional title game, and then a potential meeting in the Class C crossover game leading into the Far West Regional. So we're getting set for action here at Byron-Bergen High School. Once again, Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens here with you. We'll hear from Coach Dickens momentarily as the final seconds during pregame are about to wind down. And we'll see how Byron-Bergen begins its pregame proceedings. If they begin with the introductions, we'll hear from Coach Dickens. If not, we'll pause for the national anthem.
Good evening and welcome to Byron-Bergen Sports Arena as the Bees host the Pembroke Dragons. Please rise.
And we will pause for the national anthem.
Sung by the Byron-Bergen Singing Silhouettes.
And it will be sung by the Byron-Bergen Singing Soloists, I believe he said. Silhouettes. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Now, Coach Dickens, we'll hear from you to break down this matchup. You're excited, as am I, for what should be a classic Genesee Region League battle. This league has really progressed over the years and really developed some quality talent, and these two teams are amongst the best that Section 5 have to offer this season.
I think the top half of their league has really been strong this season. Even after the last couple years, it's been much stronger than maybe 10 years ago, and it's had some great battles. I think this is the top game of the year. When you take a look at both these teams and how they've started off, Pembroke losing their first game and winning from there on out. Bergen's yet to lose. I think this is going to be a classic battle of who can score more than the other. Obviously, whoever scores more, but who is a little more consistent offensively. Both teams averaging over 70 points. Both teams only giving up about 43 points a game. So this would come down to who executes better on offense.
Now, how about the coaching battle? Both of these coaches experienced. Coach Shea has been at the helm a little bit longer than Coach Noeth, but she is certainly well-versed in basketball circles, and one of the few female coaches that you'll see lead a boys basketball program. But since taking over, she's really transformed this program and made it a consistent competitor and perhaps her best team this season.
Yeah, I'll say everybody I talk to that coach is just they're impressed with how hard the Byron-Bergen kids play for Roxanne. That maybe wasn't the case for the coaches that have came through before her. And talking to her a little bit about the excitement for tonight, it's been a while since they've been in this position, and I think this is going to show a lot for how far they can go. Pembroke, on the other hand, you have Coach Matt Shea, who was with Buddy Brasky for a while at Batavia, has really changed Pembroke into a consistent contender year in and year out. Hard work, opening up the gym, and just a very disciplined basketball style has led to Pembroke being in that discussion for sectional champ and one of the top Class C teams with Byron-Bergen in all of Section 5.
So as you can hear, the vibe is lit here within the gymnasium in the Beehive here at Byron-Bergen Central School. The Beehive is behind the Byron-Bergen bench. That is the name of the BB cheering section. While the cheerleaders have also made their way onto the court here tonight, while Pembroke watches the hometown Bees be introduced, and we are just moments away from tip-off here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. We are mighty excited to bring you the action live, as we do so often here on the BDN SN, hosted by YouTube. Wow, what quickness shown from the official there, Coach. All right, so we are ready. 8 minutes on the clock. First quarter about to get underway. We're ready to jump it up here at Byron-Bergen High School. Ball is up. We're ready to go. Pembroke will control the first possession. And Pembroke coming off an emotional victory over Notre Dame, where they scored the first 21 points of that game, as Caden Falzer launches up a three, no good. David Brumstead on the rebound for the Bees. And Coach, could you just talk about the Bees' defensive intensity and how that can really cause issues for any team they face?
Yeah, I mean, their man, it's right up in your face. Ferrara and Brumstead both do a good job of holding guards at bay out on the perimeter. They're switching early, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get caught in some mismatches where others got to defend also.
And I apologize, as I shifted the camera there, I lost my train of thought. I meant to ask you about the the Pembroke defense. How impactful is this Pembroke defense? Their man-to-man style, they really provide 32 minutes of hell, as they say, for their opponents and really make it difficult. As you saw in that game against Notre Dame, scoring the first 21 points really initiated by the effort defensively.
Well, I've watched Pembroke a few times already this year, and one of the things they do really well is they talk and communicate on defense, and I'm already seeing it. Guys pointing every time there's going to be a pick, where they're trying to run their plays. You see it right from the start here.
And inside, Chambry is fouled. He will head to the line. Chambry knocks down the first to give Byron-Bergen the first lead of this game. Two 2-0 Pembroke in the early going. Chambry perfect from the line. And a big key for Pembroke in their win over Notre Dame, as Tyson Totten knocks down a three to give Pembroke its first lead. I was going to say Avery Ferreira for Pembroke, a sophomore, knocked down a few threes in that first half, really sparked the Pembroke offense. And when you're getting contributions from players that typically don't lead your offense, as Johnny Ferrara, one of the leading scorers for Pembroke, has a chance at a three-point play, How valuable is it when you're getting contributions from those role players, as we saw from Pembroke in that game against Notre Dame?
It's huge. I mean, everybody expects your top 1 or 2 guys to go out there and get 15 points and do the things. When you get role players stepping up, finishing, scoring, rebounding, doing all the dirty work, that always helps. Hitting threes. I mean, that's always a huge plus for you.
And Ferrara completes the three-point play, and that's Byron-Bergen's Johnny Ferrara and Pembroke's Avery Ferrara. No relation, last name spelled differently, but both talented basketball players in their own right. Falzer doesn't have the touch inside, but Chase Guzdek on the rebound for Pembroke ties the game at 5. And Coach, that's what we saw for Pembroke in their win over Notre Dame, was Guzdek dominating the boards both offensively and defensively, but particularly offensively, giving Pembroke extra possessions. And when you score the ball at such a high rate as Pembroke does, when you're given extra possessions, it's nearly impossible to beat a team like this, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. And you're going to see a classic big man battle here. These are probably the 2 best big men in the league. Going to go at it toe-to-toe.
Tyson Totten has the touch from the outside in the early going. Pembroke with an 8-5 lead. And Totten, as athletic as they come here in the Genesee region, as Pembroke takes it away, ends up in the hands of Ferrara. If Totten's hitting from the outside like that, as we saw against Notre Dame, it makes it almost impossible to defend him. As multifaceted a scorer as you'll see in the Genesee region, his strength typically going to the rim, but he can also shoot it from the outside, as we've seen in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes him such a good player, inside and outside. Pembroke's really been fortunate, as is Byron-Bergen, that both teams have had different guys scoring for them throughout the year. Everybody with Pembroke's going to go with Falzer and Totten to start with, but they get Guzdek here. Like you said, Ferrara's had some good games for them. Searle's done some good things. So all the starting 5, both teams have produced this year, which should lead to a great game.
Back and forth we go.
Well, we talked about either the offense or the defense. Both teams come in and scoring over 70 points, but also only giving up about 42. This looks like the offense is going to prevail thus far. Hopefully both teams get a little more comfortable on defense and can ID the shooters and who they're trying to get a hand up for.
So here's Totten, had it tipped away into the hands of Falzer, and he knocks down a 3. Pembroke has it going from the outside. Their third 3 of this first quarter. They lead it by 6 midway through the frame.
Yeah, but they get both Totten and Falzer going. They're going to be tough. Plus, they've already had Ferrara and Guzdek score. So getting contributions from 4 of the guys, and Searle's doing a good job spreading the ball around. So a good start for Pembroke. Coach Shea's got to be happy with this.
And a 3-ball rolls in. We have a foul underneath. We'll see what the call is. Ryan Muscarella from the outside knocks it down, cuts the deficit to 3, and it will stay with the Bees as the foul underneath was called against the Dragons there, and Totten's second foul of this first quarter.
Muscarella is not shooting it as well as he did last year for the Bees. Still early in the season. He had a big game last game, hoping to get him going then.
And a carry called against Ferrara, and it will go back to Pembroke.
Good job by Martin here, just causing a little havoc.
And there's Pembroke's Ferrara all the way to the basket. And he's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2 shots.
And sometimes you get up there and you start playing a little cat and mouse game with them in the backcourt, but then you get beat. Somebody's got to come up and stop the ball. Got a little deep there. Bergen's got to be careful with Chambry. I watched him earlier in the year against Wheatland Chili. A lot different team when he's sitting on the bench with foul trouble.
So Avery Ferrara makes the first. And can't knock down the second. Tough rebound there from Chambry.
Coach Shea called Chambry the best rebounder in the GR, and you just saw it there. He went up and got it and chinned it right away.
David Brumstead on the other end converting for the Bees. And if Chambry's the best rebounder in the Genesee region, as Brumstead jumps into the passing lane, but it's rejected by Sorrow at the rim. Rebound goes to Bergen, but Colin Martin can't get the finish. And as I was saying, if Chambry's the best rebounder in the region, I think Guzdek's the second best, or 1A and 1B there.
Yeah, I think Coach Shea was giving a lot of compliments to Bergen and Braden's game. Great block by Searle down to the defensive end, and that's going to be Chambry's second. They change you in a different team when he's got to be out.
So Chambry with 2 fouls, Totten with 2 fouls. They both remain on the floor as these teams look to their veterans to remain smart and keep themselves out of further foul trouble. With Byron-Bergen, you really only see these 5 take the floor for much of the game. They don't have much depth in terms of their overall rotation, while Pembroke has much more depth, but they certainly like to rely on these 5.
Yeah, and I think, during the regular season, you tend to play a few more players just in case you get used to playing in foul trouble and things like that. But, this is awful early for Chambry to be going to the bench. And the same thing with that one. He just stays straight up. He's got to learn to be a little smarter in that situation because they need him on the floor.
So Coach Noeth decides to go with Brendan Pym and sit Chambry on the bench with those 2 fouls. Suro 2 for 2 from the line. It's now a 4-point Pembroke advantage here with 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
It's a lot of trust in Coach Shea with Tyson Totten out there, leaving him with 2. Obviously, they've talked. He knows. Veteran player, hopefully he's smart enough to stay away from it, but you never know. You get a loose ball like that, you don't want to end up with your third.
And it's got to be particularly difficult for Totten, as aggressive a player as he is, to make sure that he doesn't get into foul trouble.
Yeah, he can attack the hoop. He's just probably got to look to pull up more instead of trying to get all the way to the rim. I think in those situations, because a charge is something that you might see for a third.
Avery Ferrara for 3 from the corner. The putback there from Caden Falzer. He's fouled on the putback. He'll head to the line here.
Yeah, the athleticism from Pembroke's pretty impressive there. Falzer crashed hard, rebounding right at the rim level. That's what you want guys doing, going in, attacking, and grabbing the ball.
Some old school trash talk in the stands here, Coach. The old kick him to the curb phrase.
She talking about me or what?
Wouldn't be the first one. Falzer can't hit either free throw. Muscarella, a tough rebound in traffic, and now here come the Bees offensively.
Yeah, I think this is the time here. You got to have Brumstead and Ferrara really got to step it up. Nice pass there from Ferrara.
Muscarella inside. Down to a 2-point deficit. Now a foul as Johnny Ferrara goes crashing to the floor. The foul called against the Bees, though.
It's going to be the second on him, too, I believe. No, that's his first. Yeah.
The inbound goes to Avery Ferrara. Nice pump fake to gain some room, but he throws it away. Colin Martin chases it down. The layup at the rim, and one. Colin Martin with a chance at a 3-point play here for Byron-Bergen as they've tied it up with 1:23 remaining in the first.
A great strong finish there by Martin. Getting it strong to the hoop.
And a timeout called by Pembroke. We'll get back to Coach in just a moment. We'd like to thank our sponsors, beginning with Notre Dame. Notre Dame invites you to discover the difference at their open house February 2nd from 6 to 7:30, or call to schedule a visit today. Also, Empire Tractor, now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Check out their website, empiretractor.com, or visit in person right in front of the Genesee County Fairgrounds. Also, Genesee Community College. Genesee, your path. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Apply for free at genesee.edu/apply or call 866-CALL-GCC today.
Hey, we said some of these other leaders for Bergen got to step up. Muscarella, Ferrara, Brumstead. Those guys have played a lot of meaningful games, so it's good seeing them pick it up with Shabry out.
Martin unable to complete the three-point play. Now here's Pembroke on the possession. Falzer has not had the touch from the three-point line thus far, and Muscarella doing a nice job, and Chambry set inside.
Good job going and grabbing that here. Bergen going to a zone with Chambry out of the game. Ooh.
Pim, his first shot, misses everything, but it goes out of bounds off the Dragons, and the Bees will have it underneath. 59 seconds to go here in the first.
I think Coach Shea was too happy with that defensive possession there by Pembroke. You're not going to see a team work too much more on defense than Pembroke will, and that's why they've been so successful lately.
Nice rebound there from Ferrara. And here comes Pembroke with about 10 seconds separating the game clock and the shot clock. They look to go quickly. Falzer, second chance. He's fouled. He'll head to the line here with 34 seconds remaining in the first, and we're in a deadlock, 16 all.
Falzer showing his athleticism there, just going up and getting that ball. And then as soon as his feet hit the ground, he's back up and draws a foul. It's good basketball there by him. Good, smart, high IQ.
A lot of missed free throws in this first quarter.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it's the nerves. It's a big game for both these teams, so you know, usually as you get going, those nerves kind of disappear. But let's follow that along as we get going.
Balls are 0 for 2. Another rebound for Muscarella.
Yeah, Muscarella's done a really nice job picking up the slack with Chambry out. Good job of handling their pressure here.
So here are the Bees. Brumstead around the horn. Martin with it now. Nearly taken away now into the hands of Muscarella. Beautiful pass inside to Pim. What a feed from Muscarella. He's been the MVP for the Bees here in the early going.
Yeah, it's a great find, and look, and that's a big basket from him. You know, you look at the bench. Chambry could be over there pouting with 2 fouls. He is imploring these guys. He's the first guy off the bench really into this. You'd love to see that out of a player.
So we've reached the end of the first quarter. Ryan Muscarella with a nice feed inside to Brendan Pim. That's the difference thus far. 2-point lead for the hometown Bees. And Pembroke will look to reset. What is Pembroke looking to accomplish here as they enter the second quarter? What did they leave behind in that first quarter?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I can tell you, Coach Shea, I can tell you from knowing him and then also from hearing him right now, he is not happy with their defense. Because the way Pembroke, they are very defense-oriented, and they have principles that they're obviously not following, and it's allowing Bergen to get some good looks. That's a great job by Pim finishing there. He sealed, he used his body well. All right, and I think we're going to see a much better effort here, I guess. I mean, you know, I thought the start of the game was really good with intensity from Pembroke, but you don't see him give up too many easy buckets like that.
And my apologies, Ryan Muscarella for Byron-Bergen, a slight pronunciation change. I should know that. This has been a talented athlete within the Genesee region for quite some time. That's a big error on my part. And this one thrown away by Byron-Bergen, so Pembroke will take over. A turnover committed by the Bees to open the second quarter, and a few substitutions for Pembroke here. For the first time tonight, we see Nate Duttweiler along with Jacob Dulski. And on the bench is Falzer and Guzdek.
Good job by Pim there with his defense staying straight up, creating a little bit more difficult shot for Totten. Got to be happy with his production.
Brumstead stops and pops, can't get it to go. Chambry remains on the bench for the Bees. Suro, coast to coast, hands it off to Duttweiler. He can't get the finish, and now it's into the hands of Johnny Ferrara.
Bergen's doing a good job. Some of these other guys are playing bigger than they actually are. Brumstead, Pim, Ferrara getting in there and getting that rebound.
Johnny Ferrara knocks down the three, and a bit of emotion afterward as the Bees have taken their largest lead of the game. It sits at 5 points.
Hey, it's a big shot there, in rhythm, catching it. I think he knew it was going right in. He was backpedaling as soon as he shot it.
Surro to the rim. A good response there from Pembroke. And you see the talent from Surro. He's not just an assist maker. He can also do it offensively, although they don't ask him to do much in terms of scoring the ball.
Yeah, defensively he really brings a good athlete, long, all those things coaches like. Another rebound from him there.
Here comes Pembroke on the charge. Surro wildly fires it up there. Can't get it to go. Here comes Johnny Ferrara now. All the way to the rim, and he's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2 shots.
It's a great, strong take, knowing that Dulski wasn't going to be in legal guard in position. Ferrara going to the line. Going to be good heady play there by him. Good job of Bergen pushing the ball, getting a little advantage.
Ferrara gets the first. And just full disclosure here, as hard at working as these players are tonight, we are also working hard, Coach. Forgot an element to our broadcast system here. We're forced to use one microphone and use it amongst ourselves. So if you hear any impact to the audio, that is why. But we're doing yeoman's work. Did I use that right?
That is correct. Plus, I will like to say that Alex is also working the camera and doing the scoreboard tonight. So hardest working guy in Genesee County, Alex Brasky.
Too kind. You're leaving out yourself there, Coach Dickens.
Nice flash.
And Pim left alone in the short corner, can't get the roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's another good job of Bergen getting the ball to the high post and immediately finding the open guy on the baseline for a good look.
Totten, deep 3, no good. His first miss from the perimeter. Here comes Brumstead quickly the other way for Byron-Bergen.
It's good seeing David Brumstead out there. Unfortunately got hurt during football and missed the majority of the season. And I've watched him a couple times now this year. A very good athlete and means a lot to him.
Ryan Muscarella. Unbelievable first half for the Byron-Bergen senior. He's doing it all, Coach.
Yeah, and like I said, he hasn't shot the ball as well as he has last year and the previous year. So if they get him going, and that's one of the things with shooting. Like sometimes you get streaky, and if he can get a little bit more confidence, it's just going to help this Byron-Bergen team as they move on down the road. I mean, here he is stepping up big time with Chambry still on the bench. Now, he's been on the bench for about 8 minutes here of playing time. Other guys have just stepped up, and that's what Bergen's going to need. I talked with Roxanne about like the atmosphere around here with the kids, the community, and everything, and she is just like, it's been a long time, and these kids have worked so hard, and it is great to see a packed gym on a Tuesday night out here in Byron-Bergen.
Muscarella doing it all. The Bees with their largest lead of the game at 8 points, 5:17 remaining in the first half. Pembroke forced to call another timeout, and Chambry remains on the bench. Coach Noeth loves what she sees from her group without their big man in the middle, but John Surro takes advantage of an opening in the middle, and he's able to go all the way to the rim for 2.
Yeah, it's a couple times where they've gotten beat up top with this. Somebody's got to stop that ball up by the foul line. They're letting him get way too deep. Surro ends up with a nice little easy 4-footer.
Brumstead dives after it, and he's undercut by Surro, and that will be a foul called against the Pembroke guard, and Byron-Bergen will keep it.
Hey, good hustle by both sides, but, diving on the floor is not a free-for-all. He wiped him right out. It's a good call by the officials.
So here's Byron-Bergen holding a 6-point lead. Brumstead aggressive to the rim, and an offensive foul. Caden Falzer slides in there, takes the charge. An individual effort defensively for the Pembroke senior.
Yeah, I mean, taking charges is a big part of Pembroke's game plan, so there's going to be a bunch of them, and nice job sliding in there, getting in good guard in position, taking it in the chest. That's going to go the other way all the time.
And it's often you see with teams they have role players doing the dirty work and taking the charges. But with this Pembroke team, 1 through 5 in their starting lineup, they all sacrifice the body.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. You see the captains and your top players taking them. It's hard for other guys not to do that, too. It's a great job of being senior leaders there for, well, Totten's a junior, but just being leaders.
Good catch there, Coach. It's difficult to imagine that this athlete from Pembroke, Tyson Totten, is still only a junior. What he accomplished during the football season, over 3,000 yards rushing. And another offensive foul as Suro takes the charge. But Totten, a phenomenal football player for the 8-man football team here at Pembroke, sectional champions, state champions, and Totten honored as the 8-man football state player of the year. And he's got a whole nother season left both on the gridiron and on the hardwood. It is difficult to imagine, as you alluded to.
Yeah, well, it's hard work. I mean,
inside to Falzer.
One thing about him is from last year to this year, you can see he's put on a lot of muscle. That just doesn't happen from hoping it to happen. He's obviously put time in the weight room as well as on the basketball court just to become a better basketball player, and it's paid off for him. Getting bigger and stronger is going to help you be a better athlete.
And ever since that Pembroke timeout, they've gone on a bit of a run here. They've cut the deficit in half down to 4 with 3:40 remaining here in the second quarter. Suro around the horn to Dulski. Now inside to Totten. Down the lane. Count it! 3-point play opportunity coming up for Tyson Totten. And Pembroke right back in business.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things here that maybe you try to sneak a couple minutes with Chambry, and maybe in this zone you can protect him a little bit. Guards would have to do a better job of not letting them penetrate inside, but good finish by Totten there.
Once again on the Casella Waste scoreboard, it is now a 1-point game here in the first half, 3:32 remaining.
It's a big stretch here for Bergen. It's been a while since they've scored. I believe Pembroke's on a 7-0 run. Really need to get a good possession, a good shot here. Going to get a foul, go to the line. Nothing better than that.
Dulski knocks Ferrara off the ball. This might be the time to put Chambry back in the game, no?
It's just as much you trust them. Obviously, Coach Shea with Todd. I mean, when I had Vinny Molisani, he would play with 2 because I never would worry about him getting his third. But, the big man's a little different. They're always around for the rebounds. They're a higher chance of getting that third. And, again, the rim's not being kind to the Bees right now. They need to stop here.
Falls down the lane, like you alluded to, Coach, too easy. And Pembroke's back out in front. They are currently riding a 9-0 run.
Yeah, it's just way too easy for Pembroke right now. If you get to 4 or 5 feet with no contest.
Ferrara, what an answer. He puts the Bees back out in front. 3-point play opportunity coming up. But, Coach, I think Byron-Bergen needs to put Chambry back into the game.
I mean, the longer it goes in the first half, the less likely that's going to happen. I mean, we're not going to put him in with a minute to go in the first half after he just sat for 12, 13 minutes. So that's a great finish by Ferrara there. A chance to extend the lead, but...
So BB back out in front. Ferrara, another missed free throw, and Pembroke throws it away.
A little better job there by Bergen collapsing on that penetrator there, causing the turnover.
And Byron-Bergen calls timeout.
You know what? Ferrara doing a great job getting to the hoop, missing the free throw. I think one of those things you're going to see him, I guarantee tomorrow he gets in the gym, the first thing he does. He's just missed 2 free throws. I guarantee the first thing he does, because I've watched him play enough. Tough kid, plays hard, smart. He's going to get to that free throw line, and I guarantee before practice starts, he'll be shooting those. He'll get into a rhythm. So that's a big thing. Like in this game, late in the game, your point guard needs to make free throws, and he's got the ball in his hand most of the time. And that's one of those things that Byron-Bergen is going to rely on as they move on further down and play tougher games, especially once we get into sectionals.
Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. It's a big one in the Genesee Region League. Unbeaten Byron-Bergen leading 8-1 Pembroke by 1 point with 2:46 remaining in this first half. It's been an exciting first half, several lead changes, while the Bees currently hold the advantage.
Yeah, so again, we talk about this is a big 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Byron-Bergen stays in this situation where they have the lead going to halftime. You're in a good spot with Chambry on the bench.
Muscarella, a rare miss, as he could previously do no wrong during this first half. Now Suro quickly the other way, draws the defense to him, and dishes it off to Guzdek. Beautiful point guard work there from Searle.
Yeah, again, they're letting the point guard get too deep without guys dropping down onto the block. That's a nice find by him there.
And Pembroke back with the lead, approaching 2 minutes to play, and a foul called against the Bees.
Yeah, a little aggressive there with a foul up top. Going to send Pembroke to the line here.
Coach Nowak didn't necessarily like that call, and as you said, Coach, I think it's too far gone now. You expect Chambry to remain on the bench for the conclusion of this first half, and you have to admire the effort that his teammates have done in his stead.
Yeah, man, absolutely here. I mean, the last few minutes here have been a little rough, but, you know, if you can keep this within a possession or two, you know, you're in good shape still. A lot of possessions to go.
And Jacob Dulski makes the first. Listen to this Bees cheerleading squad getting into it here, getting vocal in the Beehive.
Hey, there's only 8 of them over there, but they're making enough noise for about 80 of them. Good job by the girls.
And here come the Bees, now trailing by 3. Ferrara traveled.
Tell you what, these guys out top, Dulski's coming out, providing a little pressure. Ferrara providing that pressure for Pembroke, making it real uneasy here for Byron-Bergen to get into any semblance of an offense.
So here comes Pembroke holding that 3-point advantage. Totten on the bench. Suro to the rim. Guzdek on the rebound and the putback.
It's a good job of just going straight up and grabbing that and finishing it. And you see this, yeah, you don't want Tyson picking up his 3rd foul here in the late stages of the second quarter, especially with Pembroke being in a nice little rhythm here. Bergen really needs a good possession here.
Muscarella no good. Avery Ferrara on the rebound for Pembroke. All the way to the rim, up and under, no good. Muscarella, another rebound.
I think teams got to get to the hoop a little bit more. People rely way too much on the 3-point shot here, especially when you're struggling scoring. That's a good call right there.
Blocking foul called against the Dragons, and Brumstead will head to the line. Will it be 2 or 1-1? It will be 2.
Like I was saying, I think a lot of times when teams start to give up runs, I think that they take way too many quick shots. You give up buckets on 2 or 3 straight possessions, you need to slow it down and run like your best set. You need to get something good, something going to the basket. Like there, Brumstead getting to the line. He's a good foul shooter. You know, this is something that could give them a little momentum. That last possession, they had 5 guys standing outside the 3-point line. What are we going to do? We're going to end up shooting threes. Good job by Brumstead there to cut it to 3.
So the Bees trying to find some momentum down the stretch, and listen to the Beehive ramping up the excitement here in the final minute of the second quarter. Into the quarter for Avery Ferrara. Off the back iron, and a leaping rebound made by Johnny Ferrara. Here comes Byron-Bergen on the charge. Here come the Bees looking to tie or perhaps trim the deficit. Martin over to Ferrara, over to Muscarella, looking for a man, can't find anybody, back to Ferrara now. At the free throw line, stops, pops, no good. Fighting in there is Avery Ferrara and Brendan Pym, and it will go back to the Dragons with 30 seconds remaining.
All right, I'm going to tell you right now, Pembroke's going to get the last shot. How many times have we done it this year where teams have rushed, taken a shot, not scored, and given up a bucket? I guarantee you Coach Shea has 1 shot going right now.
So the shot clock is off here at Byron-Bergen, and Pembroke has indeed slowed the pace. 15 seconds remaining in this second quarter of a 3-point game. The Dragons lead it, and they look to enter halftime with the lead. Suro down the middle, over to Falzer, and he gets the roll. Pembroke with a 6-point lead now. Time expires in the first half. You called it, Coach, and they got exactly what they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a great job. Good execution, Pembroke. Well disciplined. Even like talking with Roxanne about Pembroke, she just said how disciplined Pembroke is, how well coached they are. Coming out of there, you knew they were going to get a last shot. You want to take it with about 4 seconds left, so if you miss it, you got a chance for a putback. Great execution there. Now Pembroke's got a 6-point lead going into the halftime here. We'll see Chambry back out for the second half. I'm excited here for a good second half of basketball.
So we have reached the half. We will thank our sponsors, Casella Waste. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster, or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs and is always putting your waste to work. Call 308-0662 today for a quote. Also, Notre Dame. When the Notre Dame administration asked their students why they love Notre Dame High School, the same word was repeated again and again, and that word was family. Students develop authentic relationships with Notre Dame's mission. And we'll pause 1 second for the Bees' cheerleading performance. It does appear as if we may be experiencing some technical difficulty here. All right, it does appear as if the video feed is a bit choppy. We hope that clears up soon. But in the meantime, we'd also like to thank Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. Empire Tractor is also proud to and they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Also, we'd like to thank Genesee Community College. Genesee, your path. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Apply for free at genesee.edu/apply. Or it does appear as if the video feed is a bit choppy at the moment. We'll hope that it resolves itself. We'll do all we can to network. Test, 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 test.
Trip me. Hey, we can do the Bills thing. Throw me through the table. This is off, right? Oh, great.
All right, we're getting set for what should be an exciting second half of action here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you. It was certainly an exciting first half of action as Pembroke leads it by 6 over the hometown Bees. Plenty of lead changes throughout the first half, and we're seeing the best the Genesee region has to offer. Braden Chambry for Byron-Bergen, the big man inside, number 20, sat for the majority of the first half due to foul trouble. He has 2 fouls entering the second half of play, while Ryan Muscarella came on in his stead and really did a good job for the Bees, while Pembroke has maintained its pace throughout.
Yeah, I mean, I think he played 3 minutes. It's almost got to get. Hopefully, he got out here, got a good warm up, got some things going. Because as many times as he's going to touch the ball, you want to make sure that he's he's loose. Otherwise, he sat on the bench for a long time.
So here are the Bees looking to score the first points of this second half. Muscarella for 3. Had the touch in the first half. Opens with a miss here in the second.
Good job by Guzdak there bodying up Chambry when that shot went up. That's obviously a focal point for Pembroke's, finding Chambry and getting a body on him.
So here's Suro giving it off to Totten. Totten looking for a man as he's doubled along the perimeter. Suro down the lane, feeds it to Falzer inside. And Pembroke's lead is up to 8.
Again, good job of penetrating against this man and then finding the open man. Falzer is athletic as they'll come out there finishing close to the basket.
There's Johnny Ferrara. Nice bounce pass, but even better defense from Pembroke. Here come the Dragons now in transition. Tyson Totten with the layup. And a timeout called by Byron-Bergen.
Yeah, good time for a timeout there by Coach Noweth. And not the start to the second half. Bergen needed, giving up 4 there. Totten with a strong finish with a Pembroke defender, or Bergen defender coming at him. It's a great start for Pembroke. On the other hand, you look at the two different bench with their emotions here. Bergen kind of looking at each other. Coach Noweth doing a good job settling them. Good eye contact from the Bees bench. All right, Pembroke really excited here, looking to get back out there and defend.
So we'd like to thank our sponsors once again. Casella Waste, your #1 service provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Also, Notre Dame High School, Empire Tractor, and Genesee Community College. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens here with you on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. It's been a good one between Byron-Bergen and Pembroke. Second half underway. Pembroke with a 10-point lead, its largest advantage of the night. Pembroke guarding tightly while it's Brumstead going for the reverse layup. No good. Here come the Dragons now.
That's what you want if you're Byron-Bergen, getting to the hoop.
Suro to the rim, and he's fouled. The Byron-Bergen faithful not in favor of that call, as they thought the ball was knocked out of the hands of Suro, but the official saw it otherwise as he calls the foul. That will send Suro to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, Coach Noweth's not liking that call either. Ferrara's going to go to the line here, a chance to make this 12-point lead. Or Suro, excuse me.
Suro makes the first, misses the second, but Falzer's there for the putback. And a warning for a delay of game. But the bucket counts. It's a 13-point lead for Pembroke. Things getting away from the Bees here.
Yeah, you got to make sure you get a body on Falzer. Great job by him just getting to the hoop, getting it. And I don't know if I've seen a guy this year come down and go back up as soon as he gets the offensive board.
Inside looking for Chambry, but good defense provided by the Bees. Chambry over to a wide open Brumstead on the opposite block. And the Bees get a big bucket inside 6 minutes to go here in the third.
I think Byron-Bergen.
Guzdak fouled inside. Looked like Muscarella was there. We'll see who they call it on here. That is Muscarella's 4th foul of this game. He will take a seat now. And that will bring Byron-Bergen's Brody Bobby onto the floor. After Guzdak's first free throw, he has 2 coming up.
That's going to be a big loss here for Byron-Bergen. I thought Muscarella played pretty well for them in the first half. In fact, had a stretch there where we carried him, hitting a couple threes. Defensively, rebounded pretty well. They're going to need Bobby here to step up for him coming in.
So Guzdak misses the first free throw. 1 more to come. Misses both. Big missed opportunity there for Pembroke to extend the lead. Here come the Bees. Brumstead to Ferrara. Looking inside to Chambry. They need to get him involved. Nice move, drop step, but he can't get the finish. He'll head to the line for 2 shots. They need to feed him and feed him relentlessly, although No easy task going up against Guzdak. Also, Falzer coming from the weak side along with Ferrara in there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching Guzdak each time down here. He's making it very difficult, uses his body well, very active going from behind to the side and front, making everything difficult for him. Good job, Chambry there getting to the hoop, drawing the foul with him. Guzdak was disappointed in himself afterwards.
Another missed free throw. We've seen plenty of that tonight from both sides. Chambry makes the second. Back down to a 10-point game. Here's Pembroke to lead the charge. Now, Pembroke didn't seem to like the effort they put forth to begin this game. Coach Shea seemed that he thought his team was experiencing maybe a bit of an emotional hangover from their big win over Notre Dame, and you could sense that with his tone in some of the huddles during timeouts, but he has to be pleased with what he's seen from his team to close the first half and now to begin the second half.
Yeah, there's only one way you're going to play if you're going to get on the floor for Coach Shea, and that's hard. And he did not like the effort that the Dragons were giving there in the first half for a little while, and it's a changed defensive effort here from them. So, like you said, sometimes, you know, you don't get up for every game, like if they're high school kids, but...
Three ball. Caden Falzer finally finds the range from the outside, comes at a big time. It puts Pembroke back ahead by 13, which matches their largest lead of the game. Falzer missed a few three-pointers in that first half, but makes his first attempt here in the second.
This Pembroke team's impressive. The first five they put out there is as good a five as any I've seen in small school basketball here. Relentless. They all play well.
Brody Bobby for three. Boy, did the Bees need that. And Byron-Bergen's role players, although tough to call Muscarella a role player, but certainly outside of their top scorers, their secondary scorers came to play here tonight.
Yeah, it's tough. Bobby did not get in the first half. Very confident shooting that. Falzer, great caught.
And a nice find from John Surro to get Pembroke right back into the swing of things offensively. Brumstead over to Martin in the corner. He's been quiet tonight. Chambry backing down Guzdak all the way to the rim. A foul. Looks like this one's going to be called on the floor. That's a good job by Pembroke, making sure he catches the ball away from the rim.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're very impressive down here defensively. Guzdak's active. Falzer, Surro are long kids. Totten gets after it defensively as well.
And an errant inbound pass there from Ferrara. Had it knocked away. Now into the hands of Pembroke. Totten to the rim, above the rim. Lays it in. Pembroke has its largest lead of the game at 14 points with 3:46 remaining here in the third quarter. Can Bergen stop the bleeding? They go to their big man, and another foul on the floor. Certainly plays into Byron-Bergen's hands if they can continue to get Pembroke into foul trouble. As you see Guzdak pick up his third foul. That'll send him out, but they bring in plenty of size here with Duttweiler. Perhaps not the strength and intensity as Guzdak provides, but Duttweiler no slouch in his own right.
Yeah, Pembroke's impressive in warm-ups. When you see their size and their kids, obviously, you know, you see the height, but they're big kids, obviously putting time in the weight room.
Chambry couldn't get the touch inside. Here comes Pembroke quickly the other way. We have the clock stop to match the game clock. We'll resume it at 3:14. Here comes Byron-Bergen. Brumstead on the run, hands it off to Ferrara. And now the Bees will look to slow things down here. I think if you're the Bees, you have to try some shots from the outside, as you see Ferrara right there. They haven't had the touch necessarily, outside of a few makes from Muscarella, and you saw Bobby recently, but in order to open up that play inside, you have to make a few shots from the outside.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of looking at it, but this Pembroke team's very active. Like, it's one thing when you're playing a team that plays a lazy 2-3 or not as aggressive man. Pembroke kids close out really well, so you're going to have a hand in your face every time you're shooting the ball. You know, I think maybe try to get some transition would be a little bit better. Try to get some odd number breaks.
From the corner, Falzer, no good, off the back iron. Duttweiler fighting for the rebound, but Chambry wins the battle. Here comes Bergen quickly the other way. Pembroke defenders crash into the floor, and Chambry gets the roll. It's down to a 12-point game, and the Bees faithful trying to give their team some momentum with a boost of excitement.
This is what we talk about. Coach Shea out there just slowing his guys down, running a set. They run some great sets, too. And you get an open layup out of it.
So big response from Pembroke there. Now it's Ferrara pulling up, crashing to the floor, no call. Brumstead can't get the loose ball. Pembroke almost threw it out of bounds, but Totten was there for the save. Here comes Searle now going the other way. Nice find in transition, and Avery Ferrara gets the finish. It's all Pembroke here in the second half. They lead it by 16 points, their largest lead in this one. And that one, a bad pass there from Brumstead. It's picked off by Falzer. Give and go from Totten to Falzer at the rim, and now Falzer were ahead to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, Pembroke doing a good job at getting out and running, getting some odd numbers themselves. Getting some easy hoops. Bergen kids look a little tired here. I don't know if they're used to not playing against teams getting up and down, but the pace is very quick, and right now it's benefiting Pembroke. They're getting some easy opportunities.
Another missed free throw, this time from Falzer. Dulski comes on for Suro, while Muscarella back into the game for Bobby.
Dulski did some really good things in the first half. Steady, good defender, distributed the ball really well for them, and even scored a little bit. And it'd be nice to get some production out of him here in the second half.
Falzer gets the second free throw to go, increases Pembroke's largest lead of the game. Totten with active hands, trying to rip it away from Brumstead at the top of the key. Now inside to Chambry, nice drop step, but can't get it high enough off the glass. Put back no good. Brumstead a third try. He's fouled, and now he'll head to the line.
Great effort there by Byron-Bergen. First with Chambry and then Brumstead going in. Like I said, him and Ferrara both play a lot bigger than they actually are. So good work by them.
Brumstead, another missed free throw here tonight. We'd like to thank the Byron-Bergen Athletic Department and administrative staff, and I'm sure the custodial staff as well, for setting us up here at mid-court with a table, a power hookup as well. Some solid digs here at Byron-Bergen High School, and we certainly appreciate the hospitality from Athletic Director Rich Hannon.
Yeah, this is a fun atmosphere here when you come into, hopefully Bergen makes a run here so we get something at the fourth quarter, but they need better stops than that.
18-point lead now for Pembroke as Totten slashes right to the hole, uncontested. Brumstead with it now. Into the corner for Martin. Back to Brumstead. Probing for room. Now Ferrara launches a three. No good. Rebound goes to Totten. Totten, coast to coast, like a hot night through butter. And Pembroke leads it by 20. This one's gotten away from Byron-Bergen in a hurry.
Yeah, there's I think transition defense is something you're going to see them working on. It's early in the season, still things you can improve on. One thing I'll tell you, it's one game.
Chambry continuing to fight, gets the finish, and now he'll head to the line. Now, let me ask you this. When you're a coach, it's also something you have to weigh, not only the foul trouble for your player in the first half, but as you alluded to earlier in the second half, you also have to worry about that player finding his rhythm. Chambry's used to getting the ball a ton in the early going and finding his rhythm that way in the early going of games and really playing off that emotion that comes from being such a key member of the offense, and he didn't have that opportunity today, and you've seen him miss a few what are relatively easy looks at the basket and now missing free throw.
I mean, you want to learn throughout the season here. You know, Byron-Bergen in sectionals, if they're going to go and advance far or compete for a sectional title, they're going to need him on the floor. So, you know, just get better as the year goes on. It's one game here for them.
Falzer for three, and Pembroke can do no wrong here in the second half. They lead it by 21 as the long attempt from Ferrara, no good. We head to the fourth quarter. It's a 21-point Pembroke lead. My goodness gracious, what a performance here from the Dragons in the third quarter. And now we see a performance from the Byron-Bergen cheerleaders. Cheerleaders trying to keep their team in this one, Coach.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, people are still into the game up there. It's not just the cheerleaders, the good student body there from Byron-Bergen today. I'm going to tell you, I've seen Pembroke, I've watched Pembroke play a couple times now this year, and like the play out of their kids that they put on the floor, like how hard they play, how hard they work together, like you see total synergy from them out there. They're all working together. The coaches are all on the same page. Coach Shea was quick to give a lot of props to not only his JV coach Corey Coe, but also Larry Cohorst, big members of the program, but also the parents buying in.
Brumstead quickly the other way for Byron-Bergen. That's exactly what the Bees need if they're going to get back into this one.
Yeah, hey, I mean, you know, a 21-point fourth quarter deficit is going to be very difficult, but I'm going to tell you, there's things you can't do in practice against your backups that you can work on here against Pembroke starters, as good of any starting five that there is.
Falzer will head to the line for 2 shots. Byron-Bergen's 6th foul of this second half, and Coach Noeth not happy with that call either.
Yeah, it tends to happen when you get down, you know, sometimes. I mean, it's a strong move there by Falzer. He's very impressive to watch work.
Pembroke back up 20. Coach Cohorst, I believe the father of Lucas Cohorst, a former player in this Pembroke program, helped guide Pembroke to the sectional final a few years ago. A strong team that season is Guzdeck, a strong finish inside. And once again, the Dragons have put forth a strong roster this season as well, and I believe this team is on a collision course with somebody else in their classification on their way to the sectional final. This team is as impressive as they come, and obviously they still have to follow through with high expectations, but this team is mighty impressive.
Yeah, I think I think that Class C2 is pretty tough, pretty competitive. Haven't watched every team play there. I think Bolivar Richburg's #1 right now, but I think when it comes down to it, you're going to see Pembroke, you're going to see York, and I'll tell you, Red Creek's got as good of a big man as I've seen. We played against Red Creek last year in sectionals, and this Jace Brown can play for them, and they're off to a good start also.
Ferrara for 3 goes down trying to draw the foul, no good. And the rebound out of bounds off of the Dragons. It will stay with the Bees here with 6:41 remaining, and Byron-Bergen trailing by 22.
Yeah, again, it's just a time right now to keep working, keep trying to get better against good competition here for Bergen. It's difficult. You haven't lost. Emotions, you're going to be down a little bit, but you know, try to build off of this in this fourth quarter. Try to get some momentum going into Thursday night's game.
And a turnover committed by the Bees and back into the hands of the Dragons.
Hey, Pembroke's physical, there's no doubt about that, but I'll tell you what, teams that end up playing at Blue Cross Arena are physical. You know, and that's one of the things I think we're going to have to see a little bit of improvement when Byron-Bergen be able to handle that a little bit more. Because physical play is part of basketball.
Inside, Falzer to an unexpected Guzdeck, but he's able to gain the handle, and now a timeout called by the Bees as the Dragons have increased their lead to 24 points. This one all but over here at Byron-Bergen High School. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Notre Dame, the #1 secondary school in Genesee, Wyoming, and Orleans counties, recognized for the 16th consecutive year as such. Discover the difference at Notre Dame's open house, February 2nd from 6 to 7:30, or call to schedule a visit. Notre Dame on Union Street, 585-343-2783. Also, Empire Tractor, you can find their inventory online, empiretractor.com. You can visit 5072 East Main Street Road in front of the Genesee County Fairgrounds. Empire Tractor, 343-1822. We're here to help you grow. And last but not least, Genesee Community College. Apply for free at genesee.edu/apply. Genesee, your path. At SUNY GCC, the college on the hill in Batavia.
I like this. Both coaches' staff coaching up their kids, not just the head coach, the assistants getting involved as well. I think it's a great time to keep improving. I mean, both teams right at the midway point of their season, so you don't want to stop coaching no matter what the score is. I like to see that from both sides.
Be sure to pick up a copy of what will be Thursday's Batavia Daily News, as this game story, along with Mark Gutman's photography, will be featured within the print edition, while a game story and a couple of his photos will be featured tonight online at thedailynewsonline.com. Nice tough rebound there from Guzdek, and now here comes Pembroke inside 6 minutes to go.
That's a big-time rebound from him. I thought Chambry was going to get that and lay it in, but Guzdek's been a big plus for him this year.
Ferreira left alone in the corner, no good. Ferreira for Byron-Bergen on the long rebound. Quickly the other way into the hands of Muscarella for three. No good. Suro on the rebound. Chambry wanted a foul there, yelling to the official, "He slapped me in the face." And now we have a fan being ejected from the game. We won't show you the situation over there, but a fan being ejected here at Byron-Bergen High School. And frustrations, tensions, and everything else running high here in the Beehive. The BB faithful not happy, as a fan has been ejected. Surprised you made it all the way through this one without being kicked out, Coach. I know that you were very disappointed with your lack of microphone here tonight, and I know that I put you in a bad mood to start.
It's all right. I think it just shuts me up a little bit as this game gets going here. Pembroke just running a nice little motion offense here, working time, hoping to get an easy shot. Three. Nice dish.
Inside to Guzdek. Now, Coach, we've talked a lot about the top scorers for Pembroke, and rightfully so, but when you have an assist man like Suro as Chambry inside on the putback, just how valuable is Suro's contributions? You have so many scorers surrounding him, but you certainly need somebody to get them the ball in the right spot, and he draws the defense and really puts them in good position to score.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's improved quite a bit from last year. I watched their game against Oakfield in the was at the semifinals, I believe, last year in sectionals, and he looks like a totally different player, way more confident. You know, again, you just take a look at how much time these kids have put into the gym. Coach Shea opens the gym 2-3 times a week, and even after they lost last year, talking to him, he told them take a few weeks off. He came back on Monday, or the next day, because I think they lost on a Monday. He came in on a Tuesday. Falzer, Totten, amongst others, were already in the weight room working out. And again, you love kids like that are willing to use that as motivation to loss because they want to be successful the next season. And that's what you want to see out of kids, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. Just like, it's just great role models for the rest of the squad.
And quite the tradition has been built at Pembroke since Coach Shea arrived. And you talk about Suro's development, no doubt Coach Shea has much to do with that as a former point guard himself. No good there from Chambry, but nice fight inside as he'll head to the line here.
Hey, both coaches coaching the kids up. Great effort there by Chambry, battling inside, getting rewarded. Coach Shea not liking that a couple kids didn't talk there, and they ended up with a defensive miscue. Tell you, for Coach Shea, obviously you're never going to shut an opponent out, but to get off to that start, that 21-0 start against Notre Dame, that's as impressive as you can do to start a game. It's surprising because his JV coach, Corey Cole, played zero defense in high school, and all of a sudden is teaching these kids how to play defense. So, you can teach a new dog, you can teach a new dog old tricks, I guess, or whatever the saying goes.
An old dog, new tricks. I followed you there, Coach. Falzer down the lane. Good. And, yeah, you talk about Coach Coe earlier, and he does a great job with his JV staff as the rejection from Falzer, doing it on both ends now. And you talked about, during our previous broadcast at the Lions Club tournament, how valuable having a JV coach that is as involved and as passionate about leading young men as Coach Coe is. And Pembroke really has a good description of that here on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing. When you have more than just the head coach willing to go out and open the gym and let kids get shots off, what a difference it makes. And, you know, I know that they put a lot of time in. And like I said, if you go out 2-3 times a week on top of things you're doing on your own, you're only going to get better. I did forget to mention Genesee is in Class C2 as well. And no, they're in C1. I'm sorry. But it is looking like Pembroke-York would be an outstanding matchup.
Class C is tough to follow. As someone who has to follow it each and every year and cover the tournament, it's certainly tough to follow with the 3 separate classifications. It's tough to remember which team goes where and which team is going to meet which in the finals. But there's so many talented Class C teams this year, it should make for an exciting sectional tournament.
Yeah, I've already cleared my schedule to make sure that I'm able to go see some good games every round. Going to get even more difficult next year. They're changing the numbers in the state. So teams that are traditionally Ds are going to be Cs. Some schools that are traditionally Cs will be up in the Bs. So that'd be very interesting to see next year.
And an offensive foul. Guzdek takes the charge. Turnover going back to the Dragons. And we talked about Pembroke's JV coach as you see the Bees and Dragons empty the bench here. We'll talk to you about the substitute shortly. But Byron-Bergen's JV coach, Chris Chapman, does a nice job keeping these kids involved and really coaching them up before they get to coach Noeth at the varsity level.
Yeah, very, very good JV coach. Very good at getting those fundamentals ready. Been involved with the program for multiple years now. So, like I said, it is that continuation, you know, and Coach Noeth to be the first one to deflect some of the success to others as well, not just her and the kids. So it is good to see. I'll tell you what, taking a charge like that up 26 with 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, Pembroke kids, like Coach Shea talked about Pembroke basketball, like I think that's a good example of it right there. Like he easily could have just let it go, get ready to play Thursday night, whoever they're going to play, but it's just in their minds. They're going to take charges when a kid's coming down the lane that hard.
So here's some fresh faces onto the floor as inside Jeremy Gabby can't get it to go for Pembroke. And now here is Bobby and Pim back onto the floor. Or excuse me, just Pim back onto the floor for the Bees. Bobby remains sidelined while, like I said, a few fresh faces as Carter Prinzi, also Alec Kolakowski, Matt Tanner, and Frank Hersom are on the floor for the Bees. While Pembroke is also welcomed a few new players onto the floor, including Sean Pistolka, also Garrett Naiman, Gabby inside, as you saw there. Plenty of size from Gabby. And then you also see Sam Pfeiffer and Owen Hootman, my favorite last name in Section 5, on the floor. And what hair on that young gentleman that just walked by, Coach. I'm sure you're jealous.
You know, it's easier to maintain my short style here, so I'll stick with that.
Flowing locks here at Byron-Bergen. He's got a Bills bag to boot, Coach.
Go Bills, big one Sunday. I know you'll be there just like I will.
Now, as you mentioned that, just quickly, if you could, as a 3-ball is good from Pim getting involved here. If you could quickly, before the time expires, just tell me the environment inside the stadium this past Sunday with DeMar Hamlin and what a great day.
My wife is still laid up from surgery, so I stayed home and watched with her.
But from afar, I mean, just what you could gather and just the exciting atmosphere that was created by the honoring of DeMar Hamlin and whatnot.
That was tremendous. I mean, you could just see the people in the stands, and then you could hear the noise. Like, I don't watch too many games at home, but just hear the noise of the stadium when Hines took the kickoff back. I mean, who knows what was going to happen, but sometimes you think there are some things that just guide people to just do some stuff like that. But that was phenomenal, like just a way to get everybody's hopes up. It's from people I've talked to they just said it was just such one of the top environments they've been to, and they've been to a lot of games. So I mean, it's great. Hopefully they can carry that emotion over into a successful postseason run.
So Pym 2 for 2, 5 quick points in the late stages for Brennan Pym. A good showing here now. Moving forward, what's next for each team? If you could, Pembroke coming off a huge win here, handing Byron-Bergen their first loss, and the Bees trying to rebound for the first time from their first loss of the year.
Well, I think for Byron-Bergen, let's just get back to the basics. Realize this is one game. It kind of got out of rhythm when Chambry getting out of there, not playing the last 13 minutes in the first half. Refocus, re-get their energy, get better, a little bit more, the things they didn't do well tonight. I didn't think they stopped the ball defensively well enough, so maybe a little bit more time on that. I think transition defense, just try to improve. It's, like I said, one game. For Pembroke, is just keep that momentum going. I mean, Pembroke's got, just like Byron-Bergen has Lions in their sectional bracket, Pembroke's got York, Pembroke's got Bolivar, Pembroke's got Red Creek, some very good teams. So, it's great winning a regular season game, but you want to win these in the sectionals.
So that's going to do it here from Byron-Bergen High School. Pembroke with a significant victory, 75-52 over previously unbeaten Byron-Bergen. Before we get on out of here, we'd like to thank our sponsors, beginning with our scoreboard sponsor for tonight and all of our broadcasts here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network, Casella Waste, your local waste and recycling service provider. Also, Notre Dame High School, discover the difference at their open house February 2nd from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Also, Empire Tractor, we're here to help you grow. EmpireTractor.com. Also, Genesee Community College, apply for free online, genesee.edu/apply. Alex Brasky for Coach Dan Dickens here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. It's been a fun night at Byron-Bergen High School. Thanks to the BB administration for setting us up here at midcourt, and thank you to the viewer for joining us. We'll see you next time.